My name's Jolene. I am from the Face Painting Fairy, and I also work with the facepaintingforumshop.com, and so I'm here to talk to you about stenciling. We have a couple stencils. They are given to you every time you order for the Face Painting Forum shop, and they're great. They have a little hole in them, but I have a design that I've already done. This is my standard mermaid face. Kid asked me for a mermaid. This is kind of what I usually do, and I would like to show you how you can add stencils and how to do them effectively. So a lot of times people will make mistakes when they stencil and then not use their stencils because it just doesn't come out well. So I'm going to show you how I stencil, and hopefully it can help you do a better job stenciling, and you'll enjoy it more, and you'll add them to your designs more, so you can use all these free stencils that we're getting when we order our products. So there's two ways that you can stencil. You can use a finger dauber, or you can use a sponge. I don't usually like to use a sponge just because it's not firm enough for me to stencil with. I usually like using the finger dauber, and I will spray the finger dauber, and you can run it back and forth into the paint until you get a good load of paint. And you don't really want to make sure you get it not too wet, because that's the biggest problem, is getting it too wet. Okay? And then you can always test it on the back side of your hand to make sure it's not too wet. You will place the stencil against your skin. You can put one here in the center, jumping right over the seashell, and that would be kind of cute. You want to dab, 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 and then you would, if you wanted to add glitter, you would do it now before you pull the stencil away, but you would pull the stencil away, and then you're left with the little design right there in the center as it jumps over. You can do that, or you can also use powders with stencils to add elements to the skin. And you would use the powder, rub it on, and then tap it off in order to get the excess off. And then you can go over the edges of the stencil with powder, and then there's your design right there. This works great on top of paint. It's better on top of paint than it is without paint. And again, if you're going to do a stencil on either side, you'll want to flip it. So you'll have to make sure that this side is clean. So you can wipe it off with a baby wipe, and then you can put down a towel and then dry it off, and then that way you can do that. Again, spray the dauber so the paint doesn't get too wet, rubbing it back and forth. It's all about making sure that the paint underneath is dry also. You want to make sure the paint underneath is dry, because if it's not dry, then you'll get transfer of the paint onto the stencil, and so as you move it around to stencil different areas, if that paint were wet, then you would end up with little places everywhere of the other paint everywhere. So I think that making sure that the paint is dry enough is probably one of the more important things, and then also making sure that the paint that you're applying is not too wet. So you can add, and then you can stencil right over the top of this one. And that's all there is to stenciling. I'll do maybe another video to show you stenciling with the large designs over across the face. And so give me a comment, like it, and then subscribe to the channel. Thank you.